What's up, and welcome back to Miles Apart. How are you doing, Matthew?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Very good. It's been a while.
I know I was going to say it's been a minute since we've done this podcast. It ran away from us.
Yeah, sorry, dear listeners. Ever since Matthew has been here, I've been very busy for my part, so I'll take the blame for this one.
I'll let you have it. Even though, I mean, half of it is mine as well. But there's a lot going on.
True. So tell us, what have you been up to?
My memory is really bad. But
You should
last
stop taking drugs.
probably. This past weekend I ran a marathon, which is fun.
I love how you say, which is fun.
So before the race, obviously you're supposed to train and whatnot,
Mm-hmm.
and I did none of that at all. Like I think I probably ran 50 kilometers within the 4 months.
Wow, that's that's not good. That's not good.
Yeah. And it didn't help that Candace was sick before, so I kind of got her sickness, so then I didn't want to run because I was sick.
Mm-hmm.
Right before, like literally the week of the race. So then I just didn't run that week either. But I had fun. I think I injured my foot, but besides that, it's great.
How did you injure your foot?
Well, I didn't run forever, and then I just run a marathon.
I see. Yeah.
Yeah.
But funny you would say, because I am running on the October 29th. I'm running. So this race is called the longest marathon in the world, and it's basically they started this in 2014 with the annexation of Crimea. So it's a Ukrainian-based thing, I will say.
Mhm.
And it's at first it was just like you run and you donate some money, and I guess now with the war it has like developed to either you run like a 2 kilometer at least run in Kiev, which is I'm assuming sort of an official like event there, or
Mhm.
you can sign up literally anywhere you are, and you choose the distance you want to run. You donate some money, and then they send you some postcards from Ukraine. Naturally, it's a bit of propaganda, so it's like military stuff. And then they send you a medal made out of shells, which is kind of cool, from like a Ukrainian artist.
Mhm.
And I was stupid enough to sign up for 50 kilometers. Have I ever run this far? No. Am I going to train before that? Probably not.
Have you ever ran half of that? No.
No. So yeah, it's gonna be. I don't really know how this is gonna turn out, but I'm assuming I will not be able to walk the next day.
You'll semi-feel my pain of what I've done.
So it's horrible.
Except you're doing 50K, I did 160K.
Okay. Well, I told my dad about this, and he was like, "Don't you want to run a marathon first?" And I was like, "No, I really just want to do an ultra."
What does he think about it?
So he thinks it's kind of cool, but he also thinks that it's kind of delusional to not run a marathon before and then just straight up run an ultra marathon and not really train.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say it's the smartest thing.
No, not at all.
Just hopefully
Yeah.
you don't get injured or something.
I mean, so the beauty about it is that it's not like an official event. Like, there's no one there. I'm doing it by myself here in Zurich, and I asked some people. I was like, "Hey, anyone interested in doing this delusional thing with me?" And no one really wanted to. Although I have two friends of mine. One of them is Anastasia, my Ukrainian coworker, who's going to run a couple of kilometers.
Mhm.
just because she's a Ukrainian, and she gave me the idea. Sorry, English. And another friend of mine, Ryan, is running as well. I have no idea
way.
how far. Yes, he actually started training.
Like 1 kilometer?
Yeah, I mean, you could legit just run 1 kilometer.
Yeah.
But I have no idea how far. I know that he's not going to do 50. I told my roommate, I was like, hey, do you just want to bike next to me? Because I'll need someone with food. He was like, hell no.
I think it would be cool to have someone bike with you.
Yeah, so I've asked a couple of people. I mean, I basically just need someone who's capable of biking 50 kilometers in a steady pace. I'm not going to go fast because, like I said, I've never done this in my life before. So I'm not trying to do any record-breaking times, which I think is the hardest part. And I've been actually training for that, to run super slow and to... Because usually I'm incapable of doing such thing. So I needed to learn how to go slower and accept that this has to be it.
Yeah, I mean, you got to keep your heart rate low.
Yeah.
So I think also, I mean, it would be great to have somebody biking the entire time, but you could also just do it like half. Like the second half is more important than the first. So you could technically run the first half by yourself, and then your coworker runs another 5K with you after that, and then someone bikes with you the rest or something like that. You know.
True. Yeah, it might be an idea to organize it that way, but so far I've asked 2 people to bike the entire distance with me. Now I just have to figure out which person it will be because of schedule.
Yeah.
You're
so popular.
I know. I literally have to beg people. I'm like, hey, please, pretty please, do you want to do this on a Sunday?
You're going to be running like the longest distance ever that you've ever done, and people are just going to be like sitting there like enjoying a beer and just looking at you like, what is this dude doing?
Yeah, my roommate already told me he's going to laugh at me when I come home, and I was like, why? And he's like, you're going to look like shit and you're going to be totally dead, so...
You should make your own medal. Or you get one.
I already have it. So technically speaking,
really?
I don't really have to run anymore.
What does it look like?
I'll send you a picture afterwards.
Okay.
It's kind of nice. It has the Ukrainian colors, of course. I mean, I kind of like the idea. I was just like, hey, this is kind of the best idea and like the best way to do it. You don't pay that much. I mean, you decide how much you want to pay. And I know myself, so this is the best way of doing such like long distance for a first time because there's no one there to challenge me.
That's fair.
Because if I would go to an official event, I know I would try to keep up with the fastest people, and that would be very stupid.
No, you got to run your race. You know?
Yeah.
You have to go at your speed. Even though, so like when I was running my marathon this past weekend, clearly I knew I wasn't going to run as fast as I probably could if I was training. And when I signed up, I had said I was going to run it in like 2:55. 2 hours and 55 minutes, which is really fast.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Because I was going to try to train to run like a sub 3 hour marathon. And so they put me in Group B, which the groups go all the way to like, I don't even know.
Yeah.
L or something like that.
Yeah.
And so I had to go in corral B, and I was going way slower than everyone else. So there's just like... The entire like crowd of runners are just like passing me the entire time, and I'm just like enjoying myself, like, because I didn't want to get wrapped into it. Because my friends ran it as well. 3, Jake, Elliot, and Johnny, they ran it, and they said when they started, like they couldn't help but go so like faster than they were supposed to, because the energy and everyone's just running fast.
I mean, that's what happened to me when I did the half marathon. I signed up for... I mean, I did it there. I knew I would run faster than usually, but like you get so sucked into the energy of everyone, so like you're just gonna book it straight away,
Yeah.
and you have to fight for your spot.
Yeah. I mean, this marathon is the second largest world marathon. So there's 50,000 people.
Insane. The one thing I'm kind of not sure about is, so everyone listening to, we're talking about the Chicago Marathon, and what's this guy's name who beat
Kiptum?
Kipchoge's world? Kiptum. He
Yeah.
beat his world record by like a couple of minutes, right?
No, it was like 1 minute.
Okay.
Or maybe
So
like a
it was-
little bit over a minute.
So it was that, but this Swiss newspaper wrote an article about it and was like, it's kind of interesting because no one really knew him before.
Because he's
He's
only
20
ran so many marathons. He's only
Yeah,
ran like
but
3.
I know, but the one thing that they were surprised is that usually the world records get like broken in Berlin because that one is considered to be a bit
Yeah.
easier and more flat.
Which is crazy.
So-
One, Chicago's hillier and windier.
Yeah.
2, he's 23 years old.
Yeah.
Kipchoge ran his like 2:01:30 whatever marathon in Berlin, and he was 37 years old.
It's insane.
So if the peak age for marathons is like 35 to 37 or whatever, this dude is gonna definitely break 2 hours, considering he was only 35 seconds away.
Mm-hmm. Well, so this newspaper was actually questioning whether he was using any doping or not.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Is that like a serious topic?
How do you mean?
Like, do you think that might be true?
I honestly don't know. All I know is that usually the world record gets like beaten in Berlin, and it's kind of interesting that this guy out of the blue beats Kipchoge's record in Chicago. I hope that it's not like that he didn't cheat, but you just don't know, and you have to sometimes assume that with someone going that fast.
I will say there's 2 things. One, every single marathon he's won, and his fastest time was like just slower than Kipchoge's. And then
Mhm.
2, the weather was like perfect for the race. It was, I don't know what it is in Celsius, but it was like starting the race, it was 44 degrees out, which is cold.
Mhm.
And you want it to be cold.
Mhm.
It was overcast, so it was cloudy and there was no sun, and then it wasn't windy,
That's nice.
so it was perfect.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I hope he didn't have to cheat. I'm assuming not, but you just don't
Yeah.
know. What was your time? Did you break any records that day?
No. I think I was like an hour. No, I wasn't an hour. Maybe like 45 minutes away from being the 1 millionth runner of the race. So they
How do
had,
you mean?
like before the race, they announced that this year's race, the 1 millionth participant was going
Yeah.
to cross the finish line.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
That's insane.
So they were like, this guy that I watch actually on YouTube, he lives in Chicago, and he tried to predict what time he had to run to be the 1 millionth runner.
Mhm.
He went into like the data of like every single year's race and found out like the average time for this specific spot, because he found out that you needed like 27,000 something runners to get to 1 million or whatever.
Okay.
And he was only like 2 minutes away from being the millionth runner.
Oh my god. But would you like, did the millionth runner like get anything specific, or is it just like you are that?
They posted it on their Instagram. It was just random chick, but I don't know if she got anything.
Gotcha.
But it's interesting.
So you still haven't shared your time. Is it bad?
Oh no, my time was 3:46.
I mean, that's still fast.
Yeah, I mean it's way better than I thought it was gonna be. I literally did not
Yeah.
train. I just woke up and ran a marathon, and now I know like that's pretty much my benchmark, which is not that much slower than so my first race I ever ran was um, in Michigan, and I ran a 3:33,
Yeah.
and I trained for that for like 3 months.
Oh wow. Yeah, that's much. I mean, that's insane that you, without any training, getting down from a sickness, and just running it, and you would like be that close.
Yeah, so I think if I actually trained again, I could get it like way faster.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But my friends or Elliot's like, oh, like let's be the crew that does all these races and stuff, and then he's like sending all these races, and now he wants to do some like half triathlon Ironman thing in Washington, and I'm like, dude, that's gonna be nuts. I can barely swim, let alone swimming like a 5K.
Yeah, I mean, I watched this documentary about it was like this very specific triathlon, and it's in Norway, and it's supposed to be a bit like more difficult because you have to swim through like a one of those fjords, like those lakes in between the mountains, but you start at like 4 a.m. something like that, so it's super fucking cold.
Mm-hmm.
And then I mean, bike around the hills and mountains there, and then you have to run up. The marathon goes up to a peak of a mountain, which is just like naturally not gonna be any record-breaking run, but still, it's just like, what? Why would you do that?
Yeah. People, I don't know why, but people enjoy to like administer pain to themselves if they actually do it to themselves, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it has nothing to do with running, but for some reason, I don't know what I did, but like 2 weeks ago, I pulled my shoulder. I did something, and I went to my physiotherapist, and he started like moving it around, and he was like, "Ah, it should be fine now. Just just be a bit careful." But it's been bothering me. It's like I'm in pain, and it's annoying. And some people would be like, "All right, I'm just not going to train till the pain goes away." I can't do that.
So you just train the other side?
No, I still train, but I can't do everything again. So I can't do like push-ups and whatnot. I have to like be very careful with the exercises I choose to do, which is kind of annoying because half of the stuff I can't do.
No one-arm push-ups anymore.
No. I think I would just fall on my face flat if I would try to, because it's my left shoulder. So if I would try to do a one-arm push-up with my left side, hell no.
Just do a lot of legs and core.
Yeah. I'm still working out my arms, so.
So we'll both be pretty, not pretty, but like semi-injured during our trip.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Perfect.
So yeah, for all the listeners, Matthew and I'm leaving, so this probably comes out on Thursday morning. So I'm leaving on Friday morning, and Matthew's joining me on Monday in Costa Rica.
Yes, sir.
Yes, we're gonna be what's a good name? The Gringos. I'm the fake gringo.
I'm gonna go into the forest and find the biggest spider possible, and you're gonna be sleeping, and I'm gonna put it on you.
So here's my stupidity once again. I sent you this video of this guy who's been like to Costa Rica like so many times before, and then he talks about bugs, and he shows spiders, and I'm like, oh no. So I started looking it up, And apparently it has over 2,000 different species of spiders in that country. And some of them are like small spiders that I would encounter here in Switzerland, which I already hate. And some of them are like those big nasty motherfuckers. So
do they have the ones that like are so big that they eat birds?
man, don't tell me this stuff. I'm not gonna sleep.
I swear I saw like there were like spiders that could eat birds.
That's not good. This is not good.
Well, I mean, on top of the 2,000 species of spiders, there's like 750,000 different species of insects.
It's gonna be great.
I think it said like so the country itself, the size of it is only like 0.3% of the world's size, but it has like 10% of the species of insects.
Yeah, it's insane. Like, the biodiversity of Costa Rica is like nuts. I had no idea till I watched that video after we booked the flight tickets.
Yeah, I had no idea. But I would feel bad if I like accidentally stepped on some like rare ant that only lived there or something.
I guess it's part of the experience.
I'm gonna have to buy one of those Bowie knives, those big knives, so I can just like chop the trees down while we were going through the forest.
Yeah, I'm just gonna buy a big net and then wrap myself into the net, like that I look like a walking tent, so no spider can attack me while we're walking.
Or you can get the beekeeper suit.
Oh, now we're talking. Now we're talking.
I think you're gonna step one foot into the forest and be like, nope, and then you're gonna spend the rest of the time on the beach.
No, I think I mean I really want to see the forest and all that. Will I be scared? 100%. Will I hate my life when I see big spiders? 100%. Will I scream like a small girl? Yeah, totally. You'll be in charge to kill those motherfuckers, and I'll just run away and be like, Matthew.
I'm honestly not scared about the insects at all. The thing I'm scared about is like considering that there's so many different animals, there's probably like jaguars and stuff that will just maul you.
Man, I really cannot wait to go hiking in the forest. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be so great.
Like because they're all like national parks or whatever, so they can't like dictate whether anything goes anywhere, like whatnot. So,
Well, yeah, dear listeners, we're going to try to record in Costa Rica, and if not, you'll get an update maybe when we are back. So be ready for me telling you how much I hated it because of those fucking animals.
We come back and like we both have like one less arm. we got like mauled by a lion or something.
Oh God, please not. Well, someone told me it was like, so you're gonna spend 2 days in San Jose, and I was like, yeah, I mean the capital. And so some people were like, is that a dangerous city? And I'm like, compared to other cities in like Latin or South America, I don't think so. And they were like, maybe just make sure you're not going to get killed by any narcos or something like that. And I'm like, I don't think that might be an issue, but I will definitely keep an eye.
Did you look it up?
No.
It's just like you. I remember meeting you and you're telling me like, oh yeah, I went to California and I asked some guy to just take me to Compton and I took some photos, and when I moved to Chicago, I just rode my bike to the south side.
No, I took the red line. Much better.
Or the red line.
Yeah, now you're seeing it in action. For reference, we booked our hotels and a rental car last night. So 2 or 3 days before we fly there.
I'm surprised we even got it that soon.
Yeah, at some point I was like, am I just going to book it at the airport in Switzerland? Yeah, no, I'm super excited. I've never been to South or Latin America, so this is a new one for me.
Have you ever had a plantain?
The what?
A plantain.
Is that a fruit or a vegetable?
So no.
Mm-mm.
It's like
Maybe I know it, but in French or in German. That could be it.
if you took a banana and took a potato and had a baby, that's what it would
Yes.
be.
Yes.
It looks like a banana, but it's like hard and it's
Yeah.
starchy like a potato.
So I was fooled. We have this Peruvian restaurant in my neighborhood, and I've been there a couple of times. The first time I went with my buddy Ryan, and he ordered those, but like in a chip version, like chips.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is that? He's like, it's kind of like bananas. So I was like, yeah, banana chips? Hell yeah. So I start eating them, and as soon as I start tasting them, I was like, I don't know what they do in Peru, but this is not the bananas I know. He was like,
Yeah.
well, it's plantains? Is that the
Yeah.
name?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I was very confused about that.
Candace loves plantains, my girlfriend. We make them, I probably eat them once a week at least.
Do they have that in Costa Rica?
Yeah, that's one of their main
Oh.
sources of carbs. That's why I said it. I'm actually
Okay,
really
well.
interested in having it there because that's where it comes from. So
I have no idea about Costa Rican food, so
or coffee.
oh, actually?
Ha ha.
Say it again. Huh?
Ha ha ha.
Why? Is that... Wait, really? Is Costa Rican coffee...
You're not funny.
No, I'm actually really... I knew about the coffee, and I'm very excited about that.
I did not. At all.
I think I might even... I will definitely bring back coffee to Switzerland if I get the chance to do so, and if it's any good.
I mean, how could it be bad?
I don't know if there's a massive spider floating in my coffee, then it's definitely horrible.
We should just get some and make our own every morning and sip on the
Spider?
beach. No, coffee.
Yes. 100%.
But I'm sure they don't have like creamer and sugar for their coffee. Or do they still do that stuff over there?
I don't know if they still do it. Maybe they did it last year, and this year they were like, no, not anymore.
Not in October.
Only in September, man. I also just found out that Costa Rica is by far the season where it rains the most, which is amazing that we're going in mid-October.
Yeah. It's alright.
Hey, splish splash, right?
We'll be the Splash Bros.
Oh. Although I hate the real Splash Bros. No.
Why?
I hate Steph Curry and the other guy.
Because they're so good.
Yes, they piss me off because all they do is those 3-point shootings. It's so annoying. It's always like, the Splash Bros are back, and you're like, bro, stop.
Imagine
And
if
then
they
he
make
breaks
a
his
4
ankles.
point.
He would still make all those 4 points, and it pisses me off. I don't like him.
I think that he's insane, but I think he low-key ruined how basketball is seen, like especially to the younger generation. You see all these kids nowadays just like chucking up 3-pointers and like, why don't you work up on your layups and your screens and making plays and stuff? But
Yeah, that's why I prefer the Serbian guy, Luka
Doncic?
Yes, great guy. Although
Mm.
Serbia is not great. Should we touch about that one?
What's wrong with
top-
Serbia? Soccer?
Serbia is no Serbia politically.
Oh, I don't know anything about Serbia, so.
They're very close to Russia.
Oh, okay.
And the entire
Makes
Eastern
sense.
Bloc isn't like too much of a fan of each other, and I don't know if you heard about that, but there was like this kind of a war thingy going on there in the 90s, and that was kind of brutal, and no one really owned up to it, so that's that.
Maybe I have to learn more about that.
Yeah, that could be a task for you. Or I'll tell you all about it when we're in Costa Rica and I'm running away from all the spiders.
I actually I'm listening to a podcast about World War II, the Germans versus the Russians.
Oof.
That's some crazy stuff.
It's
That
horrible.
is some nuts stuff. Just like,
Yeah.
wow.
So, kind of a interesting side twist story, information, whatever you want to call it. My grandpa, who's German, was fighting in Russia.
Really?
Yeah. So, he told me about it, and he never really spoke about it in a very positive way. Let's say it that way.
Did he talk about the winter?
My understanding is that he was there at the beginning, and then some of his units were taken, or like they were sent to Finland, and they still had to fight the Red Army up there.
Mm-hmm.
But he was in Russia, and some of the worst things that he's ever seen happened there. So that's all I really know.
Yeah, there's like, we don't have to get into details, but that stuff is crazy.
I mean, war in general is it's not a nice thing to do, to have, to see, to.
Speaking of war,
Israel
Yep.
and Hamas.
yeah.
Yeah,
What
that
do you
was,
think?
It's such a difficult topic because compared to like a Ukrainian war, which is kind of easier to handle, just like in terms of like who do you want to associate with and what can you say and what you don't want to say. And naturally the attack from Hamas was absolutely horrific, and like as the listeners might know, I work in media, newspapers, and so I saw all those videos from that music festival. I don't know if you heard about that.
Yeah, I saw there was like a music festival and everyone's like fleeing while they're just literally shooting people down or something.
Yeah, so I saw those videos, and I mean, no armed conflict is nice, and I think the way they did it is absolutely horrible, and it's kind of an act of a like terroristic attack. But what makes it so difficult is like the conflict between Gaza and Palestine and the West Bank and like Israel and the Muslim world has been going on for 70 years, and I feel like, how do you say, there's bad behavior on all sides.
Yeah, it's hard to pick a side, I feel like, because it's so like side to side, and I don't think that there's a right answer. Like, if so, like, no, not one side is going to be like, all right, well, we'll let peace happen and you can stay, you know?
Yeah, and I think the difficult thing is, like, for me, it's if I look at the populations of both like parties involved, so like the people from Palestine and the people from Israel, I feel bad for both sides because they're caught up in this conflict that the people in power have chosen to have, quote unquote, to make it super like to like say it in the easiest way possible. But I think what is even more difficult is that a lot of Western countries don't really want to say anything against Israel, because if you do so, you're being seen as anti-Semitic, which I understand. And if you align yourself with, I don't know, and you would say, oh, the poor people of Palestine, everyone's like, oh, you're pro-Muslims, they're terrorists. So, like, I don't know. It's so difficult. I can't, and I won't, and I don't want to choose any sides. It's just I hope that this gets resolved as fast as possible because I generally don't like conflict like that, and so I don't want people to die for nothing.
I think the likelihood of it ending quickly is very
0.
slim. Yeah.
0.
Considering, I mean, I feel like Hamas knew what they were going to get themselves into.
Oh yeah.
Like, you know, I mean, I was watching a video and it was talking about how, like the Palestinians, they see like way more deaths in comparison. So Hamas like doing this now is just basically saying like we're willing to risk our life to like basically destroy everybody.
And this is what like is so much more difficult than like Ukraine and Russia because Ukraine they have money, they have an army. Yes, they need financial and like backup from Western countries or like NATO, and they need like weaponry and whatnot. But it's still two states with equal-ish power. Like yes, Russia is still bigger and whatnot, but like Palestine against Israel, like Israel has one of the most sophisticated armies in the world, and Palestine has like nothing.
Yeah.
Which makes it so difficult at first because like, and then like yes, they fired. I mean, Israel said around 1,500, 2,000 missiles. Hamas said 4,000, but Israel has the Iron Dome, so that makes it also very difficult. Yes, sending missiles is great, but not really helping.
Yeah, I feel like how many missiles can the Iron Dome withstand at once, you know? Like nobody knows the exact number, right?
I mean, no. It's said that it can like bring down 90% of all the missiles fired towards Israel. We know that on the first day, a lot of missiles actually reached Tel Aviv and Jerusalem and like other cities, but like if you look at videos, like the Iron Dome did also like intercept a lot of the missiles. But like yeah, I think it's horrible what has happened. I think it's crazy to see how like everyone was sure that no one could like run over quote unquote Israel or like attack them like they did. I think that's what's shocking. And like the brutality and whatnot. So,
well, it's amazing how they have such a like wide and like advanced spy network, but then they had no idea that this is going to happen.
Well, I heard that the Egyptian Secret Service did actually informed the Israeli government or Israeli Secret Service that this might happen, but for some reason, and I mean, no, like the army wasn't prepared, so it's insane. People talk about it. They like I've heard of quotes saying that it's like 9/11 of Israel.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I was just so this is. I don't want to say funny, but my way of interacting with this war was that on Saturday, I woke up hungover and I didn't check my phone that day. Like I didn't really read the news or whatnot, and I worked early shift on Sunday. And so, what is it? I was at a dinner party on Saturday night, drinking and whatnot, and someone was like, "So you're gonna work tomorrow?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Are you ready for tomorrow?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" I had no idea. For some reason,
oh wow,
I totally missed out on that. And I was like, "What do you mean?" And they were like, "Didn't you see like Israel and like Hamas are fighting?" And I'm like, "Oh no!" And so I walked in, and everyone was like, "Which video do we have? Like, what can you do? Like, what is new?" And I'm just sitting there, and I was hungover, and I was tired, and I'm just like, no idea because I don't know what happened. So it was kind of too much that morning.
Poor you.
Yeah. And then I got an email from my boss saying that if I don't want to watch certain videos because the brutality was pretty intense, I could just tell others. And I was just sitting there and I was like, how's that going to happen? Like, how am I going to tell my coworkers we're not doing that video? Because I think by just looking at like the thumbnail or like the first image of the video, that's going to be too much.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of have to go through everything to figure out what's good and what's bad for the public to see.
Yeah. But yeah, that's that.
And that is our coverage of Hamas versus Israel.
Well, also, I just think it's difficult because, like, first of all, I don't know when people are listening to this, so we're not really giving any, like, news update worthy stuff.
Yeah. I mean, someone could listen to this and have no idea what we're talking about, so that, I guess that could be news. But the odds of that happening, one, someone has to listen to it and get 40 minutes in, and two, they have to not watch the news at all.
Yeah, and you have to, like, ignore social media. You have to ignore TV. I think it's very difficult to not know what's happening right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think this one is so complicated and, like, twisted that I'd rather have professional news podcasts talk about it than us just mumbling about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like I'm going to add any insight.
You don't?
I'm just some dude that literally watched probably like 3 videos yesterday about it, and that was about it.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's crazy. So I could quit my job. I have 1.5 months, or as my dad calculated for me, 6 weeks left of work in this media company. And when I quit, when I told my boss, I was like, yeah, I'm quitting. I was like, I'm so done. I can't do it anymore. But in moments like this, when you're sitting on Monday morning or Sunday morning and this like happens, it's horrible to say, but I love those moments. It's so interesting to sit in a newsroom and like write about it and like be the ones informing the world about a conflict.
Mm-hmm. Like you get the inside scoop and you get to like write the exact words that people are going to read, you know?
Well, it's that, and then we have to we have to like verify the information that we find. We have to decide what can we show, what can we not show, like all of this. So it's super interesting, and it's like it makes it easier because I don't have to look for any topics because it's kind of given what you're gonna write about.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's I mean it was the same case with the Ukrainian war at first.
Yeah, it's probably going to be like that, where it just like lasts a while.
I don't know that it will last that long. I'm not sure.
Okay, well, you know more than me, so.
I mean, it's just because like Russia has so much weaponry that they can just use, and they have so many people, and Ukraine just gets so much stuff from the West, and I don't know how much reserve in troops and like arms Hamas has, and I don't know, is yet to be seen what the Muslim world, like how they react to this.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah. But I am on a job hunt right now. That's really annoying. I hate it.
Maybe you should get a job in Costa Rica.
As a spider hater.
You walk up to every spider and be like, I hate you.
No, I'll be like 500 meters away and then get like a megaphone and be like, I fucking hate you. You are ugly with your 8 legs.
Have you ever thought about looking at like an agency where that does like marketing and stuff for brands, like events and stuff like that?
Yeah, I have.
My sister did that.
She like that?
She quit.
Oh. So she didn't.
After like a year.
See, the thing is, I would like to have a job where I could stay at least 2 years. Because it just looks better on your resume if you don't change every year. I've never done that so far. But I would like to have a job where I can stay like 2 to 3 years again. Or more.
You should be the European, like, whatever for Ohio State football.
The problem is people barely watch the NFL here.
Didn't some game go on in Europe though?
Yeah, I mean there's the NFL Europe games, but it's still not as big as like football. Okay, football.
Well, yeah, nothing is gonna get big as that.
No, and so people barely know about the, I don't know, Miami Dolphins or New York Jets. So
yeah.
If I walk around and I'm like, Ohio State is the shit, people are going to be like, the fuck are you talking about? It's not a thing here.
You can just go back to school for the millionth time.
If I get paid, yeah.
You could be do some research
on what
for some university for gender fluidity.
Oh God, that is a topic I will not touch upon. So dangerous. No, absolutely not. I think it's beautiful that people can be the way they are, and that should be that case. But I will not be studying that topic.
What's your how do you feel about the job hunt process right now? Because you're in the thick of it right now?
Yeah, I'm in the thick of it. I hate it. It's just like first you have to like make your perfect CV. It's just annoying because then you send it to a couple of people and I'm like, hey, what's your thoughts on it? And everyone is like, this is great, and then this thing is shit. And then you're like, okay, so basically some people like certain parts and some people hate the parts that certain people liked. So confusing. So once you figure that out, then you have to write like a letter of motivation, and then some people are like, just write one generic one, just send it to everyone. And I'm like, no, I don't really want to do that. But then every time you find a new job, you can't just like change the names. So then you have to like read what the company does, and it's so annoying. And it's,
yeah,
of course, then like these HRs, like you'll send your application and they won't answer you tomorrow. They'll send you like a generic email being like, thank you for applying. We are so grateful and we'll be back. Like, we'll let you know as soon as we have decided. And you're just sitting there and you're like, great.
I think one thing is like helpful if you know somebody within the company, and then they can like give you a recommendation or something.
Yeah. I mean, and what I've heard from other people is that a lot of companies just look for, I don't know this, I forgot the expression, but my parents told me this, is that everyone wants, they put it that way, it's like they want a sheep that is able to give you milk. Huh?
Oh, that's not. Keep going.
As like able to give you milk, as able to like, you know, like do anything like that, like combined with one animal that can do like stuff that 5 different animals can do. So they want that one person.
You need to be a Swiss Army knife.
Yes, they want a Swiss Army knife, and if you're a normal Swiss person, they're like, no. And you're standing there and you're just like, I can't do stuff like that.
Well, you gotta say like, oh, I am about to run a ultra marathon or something. Like add some spiciness.
I mean,
I feel like people would care.
No, I did write that, but the thing is, like, I also know people working in HR at the company I work for, and I asked them, I was like, so what do you think of my like letter of motivation and my CV? And they were like, it's really good, it just depends who reads it. Because like they get 100 to 200 letters per job, or sometimes even more. So they look at it and they don't look at all the details. They just read the first couple of sentences and then they're like, no, yeah.
So you got to make the first couple sentences really good.
Oh, I know, and I made sure that they were like perfect, but so far it has not worked.
You got to go on ChatGPT and be like, rewrite the first 2 sentences to make it sound like I'm the greatest person on earth.
Well, I use my human ChatGPT called my dad.
That's an even better thing than having ChatGPT.
Yeah. The only thing is that he will tell you that you suck, and ChatGPT will never tell you that. So
I can imagine your dad reading your first draft or whatever, and he's just like, "This is the dumbest thing I've ever read in my life."
Oh, literally. He was like, "You're supposed to be a journalist." And I'm like, "Man, it's not bad." And he's like, "You can't even write. Like, what the hell?" And I'm just sitting there. I'm like, "Okay, basically I'm stupid and I should just jump off the window." Like, is that what you're telling me?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's just annoying because I don't know when I'm going to have a new job. So right now I'm in saving mode. And
As you fly to Costa Rica.
Well, I put that money on the side months ago before
Okay.
I quit my job because I knew I would see you either in the U.S. Well, first the idea was come to the U.S. So I put the amount that I needed on the side. Like I have calculated what I need, but it's just like I am the type of person who sometimes is like, I want to buy this, and now I'm like, you have the money, but it's a stupid idea to buy this stuff right now because you don't know when you're going to get your job.
Yeah, you gotta survive before you thrive.
Yeah. So I can't wait to sign a contract and I'm going to go all in.
They're like, they give you an offer and you're like, yep, let's do it. I'm fucking down.
So what I'm hoping is that I land on Friday and I get a call and they're like, we want you. And I'm like, yes. And I go out and I get super drunk in Costa Rica. And I'm just like, the entire bar, I pay for them. Okay, maybe not that. I'm too cheap, but something like this.
Or you get super drunk when we're there and you get super sick the next day and then they call you.
No. Here's the thing. So for listeners, every time, ever since COVID, and I'm not living in the US anymore, for some reason, when we hang out, I get super smashed and I have to throw up the next day. So it kind of destroys one day of your stay or my stay at your place. It pisses me off, and it happened again in September when you came to visit me. So I told you on the phone yesterday, I was like, this is not happening this time.
We'll see.
The only reason why I might throw up is because I got bitten by some stupid bug or I got food poisoning.
I wonder if they have like poisonous frogs and stuff.
I don't know. I'm assuming they have crocodiles.
I think they do.
Yeah, so I wouldn't just jump in any river.
Poisonous animals in Costa Rica.
Oh god, it's gonna give you like a massive list with like 2,000 animals on it.
Yeah, there's a lot.
I'm so not surprised.
Top 10 deadliest animals in Costa Rica. There's like snakes.
Ugh.
Snake, crocodile, puma. Oh my gosh. A jaguar, a bull shark, Brazilian wandering spider.
Oh no, not that one.
It says guess where they like to wander to? Dark, warm places like your shoes. Shake those things out every morning before you stick your feet in them. Try not to get bit as they are venomous.
Oh god, I got the shivers.
Poison dart frogs.
How
Oh my
about that
gosh.
bee suit? How about it?
There's a lot of snakes.
Do you like snakes?
No, I don't like snakes.
Do you feel discomfortable around them?
If it was poisonous, yeah, because I mean, I don't want to go into shock and then die. So
No, please not.
I feel like that would be like a terrible way to go out. I'd rather just like go to bed and not wake up.
How about not dying? Is that an option?
Um, according to the history of the entire world, that's pretty much like never happened in existence for a human being.
Okay, but like on the trip in Costa Rica, generally speaking, I'm totally aware we will all die at some point. I know that. Could be any moment.
Yeah, I mean that would be good.
Yeah.
It's not to sidetrack the conversation, but if I survive Costa Rica, I will get to go home and meet my dog for the first time.
Oh yes, true. Tell us about that shit machine.
Totally random, but my girlfriend was. I think her mom sent a link to these dogs, and they send pictures of dogs that are like puppies that you can buy all the time. And for some reason, Candace saw these dogs, and she was like, "I really want this dog," which is not like something uncommon of hers. So I was like, "No, we're not gonna get it. Like, it doesn't make sense."
Mm-hmm.
But then she like was really persistent on it, and eventually we agreed upon getting the dog. Well, I wouldn't say agree. I allowed it.
Wow, that sounds like you own her. You allow I allow you to get a dog.
Okay, well, it's a big commitment. It's like dogs live to like 13.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Unless you give it to a shelter and you're an asshole.
I have a funny story about that actually.
Oh boy.
So it's not about me. My parents, when I wasn't even born, they got a dog. And for some reason, like, he did not like staying with my parents at their house. So anytime they would let it out, it would jump the fence. So eventually they put a stake in the ground, and then they would tie it to the stake. So, like, it could go to the bathroom and run around, but it couldn't jump. Like, it could only go so far.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the dog somehow got out, but still had the rope on its neck. So he jumped the fence and started hanging itself.
Oh no.
But the neighbor saw the dog and rescued it and saved it. So my parents were like, we gotta like take this dog to the shelter because it's literally like keeps on jumping the fence. Maybe somebody else will find it. So they took the dog to the shelter,
Mm-hmm.
and they felt so bad the next day that they came back to get it. But apparently the dog was so bad at the shelter, they killed the dog after an hour.
No. Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, rest in peace, dear dog. Yeah, I mean, the idea of having a dog is sweet, but it's a commitment, and you're tied to your place.
Yeah, I mean, especially since we plan on moving in 5 months, so we'll see how that works out easily or very difficult.
Yeah. I just wonder if you guys decide to do another like 3 weeks trip in Europe, what would you do with that dog?
So her parents, they have 2 dogs anyways, so they would take it. But I think Candace has realized that she doesn't. I mean, she likes to travel and she likes seeing everything, but I think she would pick having a dog and having that than traveling. Whereas I would pick traveling over a dog.
Same.
So if I go visit you, like it's not like she's gonna come every single time, and she doesn't mind if I go by myself,
Yeah.
which is fine.
Yeah, makes sense. I can see
Hence, I mean, we're going to Costa Rica, and she's not gonna come.
that. Yeah.
So
Makes sense, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I wish you good luck with having that little puppy in your house, because what I heard is that they're confused about the bathroom situation at first.
Yeah, that's the one thing. I guess not the one thing. One of the many things in the beginning that I'm like, this dog is gonna have so much energy. It's gonna be running all over the place, like knocking stuff over and chewing on stuff and swallowing
Oh,
plastic and stuff. And
y'all have to start cleaning. That's a big ass commitment.
I know, I'm like, shit, we gotta clean before I leave because dog's gonna come and it's gonna be a mess, and then it's gonna eat something.
Yeah, and you have to like put your like all your stuff for shoemaking away.
I already bought this like fence, so I can put a fence up on my stuff so I can't go in my area.
Make sure it doesn't jump the fence.
True.
I've heard that dogs tend to do that. Someone told me this once. I don't remember.
I do think at the end of the day, I'll love the dog. You know, it'll be cute.
Yeah. I feel like you're a dog person.
I am a dog person. I just hated my dog as a child. Just no, it wasn't like I hated dogs in general, because I actually do like Candace's dog.
You just hated your dog.
I just didn't like my dog because it was just fat and like small and didn't do anything. And
But why are you getting a Labradoodle? They're small. You know that.
No, they're not. She's getting a like a medium one. It's a Bernedoodle. Or no, it's not Bernedoodle. What is it? I can't remember what it's called.
I love how you're getting a dog within the next week and you have no idea.
It's a golden retriever poodle. What does that mean?
Golden. I'm Googling it. Retriever.
Oh, it's a golden doodle. Candace just texted me. She's listening to the conversation.
Golden doodle.
It's like a medium size. So it'll be...
They look hilarious.
What is the picture?
It looks like a sponge on 4 legs.
Yeah, it literally looks like a mop, like a rug.
Yeah, a mop,
like a blanket,
not a sponge. Yeah. I mean, they're super cute. They are. My family in Florida has 2 of them.
Oh, really?
You're in for a treat, homie. Depending on the character, they can. They got that energy.
The good thing is we're going to be moving to Denver, and I'm going to go hiking all the time. So this dog is going to be the fittest golden doodle on the planet.
Are you going to give him... What gender?
It's a guy.
He's a guy. He's a bro.
It's a gym bro.
Are you are you going to feed him like vegetarian, vegan, or are you going to allow him to eat meat?
I think I haven't even really looked at the nutritious requirements of a dog, but like if they require eating fish or meat or whatever, I'll just give it to it. You know?
I mean, there's dogs that are vegan, but I mean, I don't know.
It's just like, for me, it's if an animal needs it to survive, then I don't see a problem. But like, if I don't need to eat meat to survive, then I'm just not going to eat it.
Makes sense.
You know?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Plus, it's my dog. I'm not going to like try to starve it or something. You know?
Yeah, no, don't do that. Don't make it fat. Don't starve it to death. That's the two things you should consider.
My dog is going to be an elite dog. It's going to be like a Navy SEAL dog.
K9 unit.
Yep. I'm going to whistle and it's going to attack your arm.
I don't see a golden doodle being a big danger.
No, it's not. It's going to be like It's basically just gonna be like this cute dog that just loves everybody, and is
Yeah, because
super
I think
energetic.
yeah, because I think otherwise you would have had to get like a pit bull or like a Rottweiler, something like that.
There's a dude that lives in our apartment building, and first of all, the guy is huge, like super tall, like way, way,
Mm-hmm.
way taller than me, and I'm like, we're pretty tall.
Mm-hmm.
This dude's huge, and his dog is the size of a horse. It's massive.
Oh, yeah, I've seen those dogs.
It's like scary.
You literally need another house just for a dog.
Yeah. Like you basically need to feed the dog the same amount of food that you feed yourself.
Yeah. And also you have to walk a lot.
Yes.
I think the only dogs that I think are so cute that I might consider getting one is a husky.
Yeah, I really like huskies. Or like a Pomsky.
I mean, I don't know. I just know that they howl and it's fucking hilarious.
That's why?
Yeah. And they're beautiful. They got a lot of energy. They need a lot of like exercise. So that's the only dog where I would be like, all right, I can go running with this thing.
The dog that I was talking about, my parents' dog, it was a husky. The one that died.
Oh. Yeah, but you also want to keep them in a cold-ish environment because they are from the north.
I don't know. Zurich is a little hot nowadays.
Got me there. You know, climate change? No, it's considered to be a hoax, so.
Never heard of him.
Yeah. Of them? Oh, it's some people? It's like a group of people?
No, it's one guy. Climate change.
Hi, Mr. Change. All right, should we bring this episode to a end after I feel like we've talked about everything and we're ready for our trip to the dangers of Costa Rica?
Yeah, next episode we will talk about our close calls with jaguars and pit vipers and tarantulas.
Ugh. I don't mind the big animals. I don't care. I mind the bugs and the spiders. That's the one. And the snakes.
I think you'll mind the jaguar if it's ripping your face off.
Yes, but I will also mind a spider just walking around my bed.
Mm.
Basically, I won't mind anything.
I can't wait to hear you like scream just because you see like a little spider.
Bro, it's going to happen. You know that. 100%.
Yeah, I'm ready.
I'm not. All right. I wish you a fantastic day, and I'll see you in 5 days on the other side of the world.
And we'll see the listeners in a few days as well. Wait, we might record there, so we can update them while we're there.
Update from hell.
And we're live.
You hear me saying, I hate it. It's beautiful, but I hate it. I'm constantly scared. I might just sleep in the car. That way, no spiders gets in, and no jaguars can kill me.
Maybe.
That's so smart.
You never know.
Oh, God. All right. Well, thank you so much for listening, and we'll be back hopefully live from Costa Rica, and if not, we'll tell you all about our little trip. Till then.
Stay classy.
That's it. Bye-bye.